Good evening and welcome to Story Time with Mr. B. I am not Mr. B because he is napping. He actually went to bed and he cannot do story time tonight. So I'm subbing in for him this evening and we are going to read Goodnight, Owl by Greg Pizzoli. Owl was settling into bed when he heard a noise. Squeak! It was a tiny sound, no louder than a whisper, a funny noise he hadn't heard before. Someone must be at the door, said Owl. Just a minute. He's getting on his bathrobe. But no one was there. Probably the wind, said Owl. Was it the wind? And he lay down in bed and said to himself, "Good night, Owl." Squeak! Then he heard the noise again. "It's coming from the cupboard," said Owl. So he went to take a look. He emptied every shelf, but there was no noise to be found. So Owl went back to bed. "Good night, Owl," he said. And then he heard the noise. Squeak! "It must be under the floor," said Owl. And he pulled up the floorboards one by one. But he didn't find the noise, so Owl went back to bed. Squeak! "Ah, this house has a noisy roof," yelled Owl. And he went down to take down the roof. "There," said Owl, "no more noise." And his roof is gone. But guess what? Owl got back into bed, the stars and the moon shining down where his roof used to be. "Good night, Owl," he said. But Owl didn't close his eyes. He didn't dare. He knew that any second he would hear the noise. He waited and waited and waited and waited. Squeak! "It's in the walls!" Owl screamed. "I'll get you, noise," Owl said as he tore down the walls of his house. But he found nothing. The cupboard was empty, the floorboards were pulled up, the roof was pulled down, and the walls were gone. Owl went back to bed and he said, "Good night, Owl." He looks scared. He's in the dark without a house. And then he saw the noise. Squeak! Owl smiled. He said, "Good night, noise." And they went to sleep. The end. If you like what you see here, like and subscribe.
Kitty, kitty, kitty.